With whom did Father have a duel and lose? And for what reasons did he fight and die? Even I don't know for sure. The day after he disappeared, in Father's room I found a letter addressed to me. It said, "Ryu, I'm on my way to a life-or-death duel. If it is destiny that I not return, you are to take the dragon sword of the Hayabusa family and go to America and see the archaeologist Walter Smith. Ryu, always be brave. I will get my revenge." And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to probably the most cinematic game on the NES. Welcome to Ninja Gaiden. I love that little act start theme. And since we already got the plot at the start, the game just throws us right into the first stage. Ninja Gaiden is very Castlevania-like, only it controls better. Ryu attacks by pressing B where he slashes his sword, and well, that will basically kill any enemy in one shot. In fact, every enemy is one-shottable except for boss fights. There are these little lamps that will change appearance depending on the stage you're in that will contain your weapons and ammunition. But that little crest I got there, the blue square, there's another one right there, is our Ninpo meter. Ninpo are basically your Castlevania hearts. Certain sub-weapons take certain must-use. Use the sub-weapons the exact same way you do in Castlevania even, up in B. What I have right now is the basic shuriken, it just flies forward. And this is the best one in the game for boss fights, the jump slash. Basically, when you're in midair, you press the attack button, and, well, you do an attack. You can avoid using it by pressing down in the B button, though, even though I don't really use that much. And as you can see, Ryu can wall jump, but it's not like Samus is in Metroid, where you have to press away from the wall in a certain way. If you jump towards a wall, Ryu will automatically cling to it, at which point you can jump off in the opposite direction to continuously climb walls as long as there's two right next to each other. Ryu cannot wall climb for real in this game, that's not until the sequel. And it's already time for our first boss against the Barbarian. This guy just likes to try and attack you with his little scimitar axe thing. But let's go over why the jump slash is the best thing for bosses. Any questions? Yeah, the jump slash is ridiculous. I want to say it damages every frame it's on a boss, but I'm not entirely sure about that. It certainly feels like it, that's for certain. Who are they? They seem to be following me. Who's there? Just a girl. Get out of here! I will. But first... What the... Oh... Where am I? I see the anesthetic is wearing off. Who are you? Don't make so much noise. I've got a favor to ask of you. Here, take this and escape. What is this? This statue? There's no time to explain. Hurry. Hey, wait, who are you? Didn't you try to kill me? Someone's coming. Be careful. If you can't tell, one of Ninja Gaiden's most defining characteristics for an NES game is actually a pretty plentiful amount of cutscenes. I think there's like 20 minutes worth of them, including the credits, which for an NES cartridge is ridiculous. What I just picked up there, though, getting back to the gameplay, is a point bag. Red are 500 and blue are 1000. And on a similar note, there are two kinds of Ninpo power-ups, pickups rather. The red are 10, the blue are 5. Although we got another sub-weapon here, and I think this is just called the Art of the Fire, but it's probably called like the Fire Wheel or something. Basically, you press up and B, and it'll fire, I think, 2 or 3 of them in an upward diagonal direction from you. It's actually one of the more useful weapons in the game, sub-weapons rather, because at least for enemies, it can take care of a lot of the ones coming ahead of you. Because there are times in Ninja Gaiden where enemies will just spawn from the ceiling and fall on you, and that's no good. The basic shuriken is actually still a pretty good one to use, though, because, as I said, almost every enemy in this game will die in one shot. Now, Ryu can... I mentioned earlier that Ryu can't climb on the walls. He kind of can, but only when there's a ladder on them, and those are generally just used for screen transitions. As I mentioned before, 2 onwards would give you the ability to actually climb walls. And what I have right now is another one of my favorites in the game, the Windmill Shuriken. It will go back and forth like a boomerang, but if you jump right before it would get to you, you'll actually extend its stay on the screen, and you can make it constantly go back and forth, and it can kill a lot of enemies like that. I want to say it homes in on enemies, but that could just be the fact that the physics with it are weird, because it tries to track onto where you are, so that might be what it is. Either way, even though we're 2 stages in, going into my experience with Ninja Gaiden, the NES games are not ones I played growing up. I didn't play them until the Virtual Console was a thing. My first Ninja Gaiden game was one of the 3D ones, but I forget which one. I want to say it was Sigma 2. And I enjoyed that, found out there were other games, and I was like, hey, let's go play these, and I had fun. And this is the Fire Wheel. This is our invincibility power-up. You move forward, I think you run a bit faster, and anything you touch gets destroyed. However, the moment that it ends, you lose any sub-weapon you had, because it's technically considered a sub-weapon. They would change the way it worked in 2 onwards to be an actual sub-weapon that just cost 15 Ninpo. I want to say it's called Ninpo, because Ninja Power, which is I think what it's called in the manual, is just kind of stupid. Also, why do bugs have weapons? That's weird. Obviously, if your health is reduced to 0, you die, same with falling in bottomless pits, but the way that Ninja Gaiden handles its lives is very similar to the first Castlevania. You have limited lives, but infinite continues, so you just have to start the stage over, which isn't that bad until you get tired of dying in the final boss for the 18th time. Either way, time for our second boss, which is... I think this guy's name is Bomberhead. He just tries to hit you with a sickle a few times. Again, jump slash neuters him. I believe you can technically do that on all the boss fights, but there are times where it's just more convenient for you to have other weapons due to the stuff before the boss fight itself. What is this bizarre statue anyway? And who is that woman? As I grew more and more suspicious, I went off to look for that supposed acquaintance of my father's, Mr. Smith. Who is it? You must be Walter Smith. My name's Ryu. Ryu Hayabusa. Who? That sword. Of course, you must be Ken Hayabusa's son. In his last letter, my father told me I should see you. Last letter? I see. So it's already begun. Ken and I were on an expedition to some old Amazon ruins. We found a strange statue and stone tablet. On the tablet it said... Wait a minute, you mean to tell me that statue... Yes, precisely. I thought it had been stolen. That demon statue possesses enough evil power to destroy an entire nation. The demon came to this earth and caused many deaths. But then Shinobi appeared to stop the demon. Shinobi borrowed the strength of the dragon and countered each of the demon's spells, and thus was able to overcome it. Yet, though it was defeated, the demon was not dead. So Shinobi confined the evil power of the demon in 2 statues of light and shadow. And the body of the demon was confined in a temple. This one must be the shadow statue. Therefore... And now I've got it. Bye, friend. What the... After him, Ryu. Okay, that's plot. I say I congratulate this game for having a plot, but at the same time, it is a platformer plot, and it's not the most well-written. I do believe part of that is just NES translation. Either way, this, first off, what I just got there was a time freeze. Those are only in a few stages in the game, and, well, they freeze all the enemies. Not the timer, though. Watch out for that timer on the top left, because if that runs out, I believe that's a death. But as you can see, as one's constantly trying to spawn there on the left, this is the stage that introduces every Ninja Gaiden player's least favorite enemy, the birds. They will constantly try to flock you, and they're not only annoying to dodge, but also annoying to hit because their movement's weird. Also, a few moments ago, I got what looked to be an orange jar that was thinner than a points bag. That is a life restore vial. They restore your HP by 6 points. There's generally 1 per stage, maybe 2 in some cases. Grab them when you can. They save your life a lot. Also, here's one of the more annoying things about birds, aside from, you know, getting hit by and hitting them. They're usually placed around bottomless pits because, as you probably noticed by now, Ryu suffers knockback upon getting hit, not as badly as a Belmont would, because Ryu just controls a hell of a lot better, but it's still annoying. Thankfully, the bottomless pit via knockback deaths aren't generally very common until the last 2 stages in this game, for me at least. Also, this game has a similar history to Contra in a way, in that it was originally an arcade cabinet game. However, where the Contra arcade game to NES was basically a port, Ninja Gaiden on the arcade was more of a side-scrolling beat-em-up as opposed to a side-scrolling, I guess you could call it a hack and slash of sorts. It's more of a platformer, but you get what I mean. Which means this is, in some regards, Ninja Gaiden 2. Either way, time for our third boss against Basakur. I honestly find this boss to be easier than the first 2, even without the jump slash, which I usually don't have for this fight. Basakur will only jump from the extreme left to the extreme right of the stage over and over again, occasionally firing 3 bullets, as you can see. But if you crouch and slash at the proper time, or even just standing slash, I believe even, you can take care of the bottom 2 bullets, completely avoiding damage. It is a really easy fight. Makes me wonder why it's placed here, but yeah, well. Stage 3, nothing too bad. In fact, overall, the first 3 stages, while they can be hard, they're very doable. After getting back the demon statue, I felt a strange premonition and hurried back. Dr. Smith! Ryu, the light demon statue was taken. The light statue? Yes. Your father and I, we each kept one of the statues. Just in case. So that the 2 statues would never become one. The demon's been asleep for 700 years. And now it's starting to wake up. Whatever we do, we've got to stop it. Got to get it back. There's no choice. You've got to become the Ninja Dragon. Dr. Smith! Dr. Smith? Come with us. Oh my god, drama. But with that, I'm going to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 2, we'll see what happened with those men in black there. See you guys then.